deepest, darkest grooves, to the backwoods swamp where we hit the bottom, from the inside of your casket to the fears lying deep inside your subconscious. It's time for the Big Scary Show.
High School.
And hi, this is Mary Warnoff from Rock and Roll High School also.
And you're listening
to the Big Scary Show.
Greetings, this is Victor, the Undertaker from HalloweenHotSauce.com, and you are listening to the Big Scary Show. Stay rotten.
This is Brett Hayes from Fear Fair, Indiana's scariest haunted house, and you're listening to the Big Scary Show.
Show with 3 big scary men and 1 that wears more makeup than I do.
This week on an all-new Big Scary Show. The haunt season is getting into full swing, and we bring you some of the key players that make it so. The unknown scare actor conducts an interview with Brett Hayes of Fear Farm to discuss Fear Camp and other things that are guaranteed to make your haunted attraction actors scarier than ever. Badger goes back to Rock and Roll High School with an exclusive interview with PJ Souls and Mary Warnoff as they talk about their careers and what's on the horizon for these very talented actresses. The unknown scare actor and Storm talk spice with Victor Ives, the creator of Halloween Hot Sauce, as they discuss hot sauces, Halloween, and caskets. The round table of terror gets truly frightening as we randomly pick several haunters and have our first and hopefully not last Big Scary Show free-for-all. The talk is fast, furious, and sometimes strange, as all aspects of haunting are discussed. Storm takes time away from haunting to rant in a Haunt Minute. The unknown scare actor makes you face your fears, even though you're already doing so when you visit that upcoming haunted attraction. The Haunt Rocker spins the rockin' tunes to get you in the mood for visiting that local haunt. Badger reads the latest goings-on in Deadline News. All this, plus more, only on the Big Scary Show.
All right, haunters, this is the unknown scare actor with the Big Scary Show, and I'm sitting here at Fear Fair's Fear Camp with Brett Hayes. Brett, how are you this evening?
Oh, great.
I'm just going to talk to you about Fear Camp because this is my first time here. I got to teach. What an amazing pool of talent you brought in this year. Is it similar to what you had last year?
We really stepped it up this year. We had some of the same great talent back, but we had so many more presenters here this year, and I'm really proud of the talent we brought in this year. I think it stands on par with some of the big conventions for what you could learn here today and who you could learn it from.
Well, I did notice that. I went to HauntCon and Midwest this year, and the level of the talent you brought in here, at no charge to everybody, I might add, which is really phenomenal and speaks well of yourself and Fear Fair, was just, the cream of the crop. You've got people like Tater, Katie Lane.
It's interesting you would mention high quality and Tater in the same in the same sentence.
All right. Low quality. High quality and then Tater.
There we go.
I'm in a category all by myself.
There you go. The education that you presented here today, I think, really helped a lot of haunts in the area. I know I learned a few things sitting in a couple of the classes, and it looked to me like some of your people here really garnered some valuable experience that they can use this year.
Yeah, it was great. You know, and one of the ideas behind Fear Camp is I was sitting around one day thinking about all of the haunts in our area, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio. Every haunt has that one thing that they really shine at. You know, you've got Baxter Avenue, who just shines with their acting, and you've got Dent with just amazing scenery and amazing attention to detail, and every haunt has this great thing that they're really good at. And so the idea was, well, let's all get together and see if we can't get better at some of the things we're not so good at, and we can't help them with some of the parts of their show that could come up. And I really, honestly, I think it's in everyone's best interest that every haunted house out there be as good as it can possibly be. Because you know and I know that when someone comes, pays their $15 or $20 and goes through an amazing haunted house, you've stood at the exit, you've heard them, they walk out and say, where else can we go? I want to see another one. And that helps everybody. And they go through one that's horrible, I'll never go to another one of these things. And so it's just in all of our best interest to make sure everybody is as good as they can be.
And I couldn't agree more. Going through a horrible haunt does put a sour taste in people's mouths. And in order to keep that market share up, we have to step up our game and be as good as we can, whether it be Baxter Avenue Morgue or Fear Fair or Dent or any of the other smaller haunts in the area. Everybody should stand up and do their best scares possible. And this is a good opportunity to learn all of that. Again, free of charge, so you've got to be commended for that, Brett.
Well, and the keeping it free part was really important to us, because the point is, you know, you can go to MHC and you can go to Transworld, and I'm not saying they have some fantastic classes at those. A lot of the same people here have taught classes at those conventions, and that's great. But the thing is, it's 3 or 4 or 5 people from each haunt that are able to go to those conventions, and that's not really, I mean, sure, you learn things and you try to spread it, but that's not going to have the effect on your overall shows if you can get a bunch of people there. And so our thought was, well, if it's free, you could bring your whole haunt and let everybody learn and let everybody share. And that's kind of the idea behind Fear Camp is let's get more people. Let's get the first-year actor here and let him learn. And let's not limit it to the 3 or 4 long-timers who are fortunate enough to go to Transworld. Let's share that talent among everybody.
My nephew actually came here to Fear Camp today. He's a first-year actor, never done it. He gets to debut on September 14th, and he's playing a pretty important character, so he learned a lot from all the classes he took, from Kitsy's class to Tater's class to my class. I think he sat in on the zombie class as well. So the pool of talent, again, is amazing. What can we expect out of Fear Camp in 2013?
You can expect air conditioning. We've made the decision that has to happen. And there are several hotels right here in Seymour that I think can accommodate it. So I think our plan is going to be to have the classes at one of the hotels. And we'll still go to the haunt at some point if anybody wants to go through or do whatever. So, I mean, Fear Fair here at the site will play a part, but at least the classes and those things are going to happen somewhere a little more comfortable, because around the beginning of August, I think it's really about the right time to do this, but it's also just a miserable time heat-wise. So we're gonna move to a little more comfortable facility. I think, and we kind of tried to throw it in last minute this year. I think next year we are going to have a stronger non-acting, non-costuming, non-makeup track. In other words, we're going to have a stronger detailing track, management. We're going to get into some of those more behind-the-scenes things, because I think that's something we can all really learn and share a lot from. We put together sort of a last-minute marketing panel this morning, and it ended up being like 6 of us just sitting in the tent and talking, but I learned from Bud 2 or 3 things that I'm absolutely going to do that are great ideas that I wouldn't have otherwise known. So I think on the marketing, the management, those sides, I think that's something we want to expand into next year rather, and have some stronger offerings on that side of things.
Well, I think that's going to be a great offering for next year. So why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about how they can find out about Fear Camp in the future and about Fear Fair?
You can find out about Fear Camp and Fear Fair at fearfair.com or facebook.com/fearfair or Twitter/fearfair. And we're about to launch a new website within the next week or two. It's going to have an actual Fear Camp page on it. We're going to make that a sort of a dedicated part of the website so that we have an opportunity all year long to sort of solicit for speakers and kind of get a little more serious about this thing, because I see the potential, and it's always going to be free. That's a cornerstone of it. But big things are happening, and I really have had a great time at Fear Camp this year, and I'm looking forward to making this event bigger and bigger every year.
Well, I know I had a good time, and I definitely plan on being back next year. Brett, thanks for sitting down and talking with me on the Big Scary Show. Listeners, you're going to have to check out Fear Camp, check out Fear Fair's website. A lot of good stuff on there, and make plans to come out here next year. And I'm the Unknown Character, and we are out.
Stiff Magazine presents The Return of MonsterCon. Coming to the Greenville Hilton in Greenville, South Carolina, July 26th through 28th, 2013. MonsterCon will feature celebrity guests, including guest of honor David Prowse, comic and toy vendor areas, panels and discussion groups, special offers for local and independent artists, horror and sci-fi themed entertainment, the MonsterCon Film Festival, live music by the Graveyard Boulevard, Valentine Wolf, and others, anime, sideshow performances by Captain Stab Tuggo and Madame Maybell, late night entertainment for adults featuring single cell entertainment, and much, much more. For more information, details, directions, and tickets, visit monstercon.org. That's monstercon.org. Don't miss the return of MonsterCon. Order tickets now before it's too late.
Michael Graves and Gotham Road. Seasons of the Witch on the Big Scary Show.
Washing all the pain away. The
Greetings, mortals, and anything else listening. Welcome to the Big Scary Show's Deadline News. First off, the Big Scary Show would like to wish each and every haunter and haunted attraction out there a very safe, scary, spooky, and successful Halloween season. We have an update on Brian Wolf of the Wolf Brothers. Brian has been posting on Facebook recently that his cancer is shrinking and that his tumor count is down to 300 from 30,000. As he has so aptly put it, remission, here we come. If you would like to help support his fight against pancreatic cancer, please visit gofundme.com/Brian Wolf, with an E on the end, to help him beat his cancer. The Big Scary Show would like to recognize James Nimmons from Parts Unknown for being our 700th like on Facebook. Congratulations, James. Remember, folks, for every 100th like on Facebook, we'll give you a shout-out and the opportunity to plug your haunt-related site. Thanks for listening, and congrats again, James Nimmons from Parts Unknown. Now, the Big Scary Show would like to challenge our listeners. We're looking to get 1,000 likes by Halloween night. If we reach this magic number, we're planning something very special, which could include a very special prize package for one lucky listener. However, you do have to like us to be eligible. We'll be giving more details soon, so stay tuned, like us on Facebook, and tell your friends who enjoy haunts and horror to visit us at facebook.com/Big Scary Show. We have news on the Amazing Jonathan's Scream On experience. Comedian and magician The Amazing Jonathan is putting together a new haunted attraction in Las Vegas called the Scream On Experiment. Now, this isn't your typical haunted house. As Jonathan says, quote, "There are no monsters or vampires in this haunt. There are no actors jumping out and yelling, 'What are you doing here?' There will only be things that play with your mind and eyes, impossible things, and things that are all too possible. After 5 years of building haunts, I know what's scary to most. I have my finger on the pulse of scary, and there isn't one." Unquote. This year, the party is open to the public at the Las Vegas Club, located on the corner of Fremont and Main Street. The dates will be October 5th through the 31st from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. For more information, go to www.thescreammont.com. We have a bit of news from Hector Turner and his haunt calendar. Hector Turner has emailed the Big Scary Show and says that his 2013 Haunted Halloween calendar is now at the printers and will be shipping to all those who pre-ordered very soon. In addition, Hector has graciously given the Big Scary Show a few calendars to give away as prizes, so be looking for your opportunity to win one. For anyone wishing to order his 2013 Halloween Haunted Calendar, visit www.hectorturner.com and click on the calendar link. We have some information on the Bluegrass Masquerade Ball. Not since the days of the Emerald City Ball has Green Bay, Wisconsin had a Halloween event on this magnitude. On October 20th, there will be 6 bands starting at 1 o'clock, plus 4 different categories for costume contests, including one for the children right after the second band, with plenty of chances to win prizes before the final Best of Show contest, with the winner receiving the soon-to-be-coveted Zombie Cup. This will be a family-friendly event during the day with plenty of activities for kids, so bring them along and make a day of it. The American across the street has a special Bluegrass rate, so if you're booking a room, ask for the Bluegrass discount. This is an open event and anyone can invite anyone, so help them out and spread the word. The Bluegrass Masquerade Ball will be happening October 20th at The Watering Hole, 2107 Velp Avenue in Green Bay, Wisconsin. For tickets, schedules, and more, visit www.bluegrass.com. I have some news on a very interesting real estate deal. Theme Park Connection, known for buying and selling some of the rarest Disney items in the world, brings you their rarest find yet, a Disneyland Haunted Mansion replica home. Theme Park Connection is selling an over 10,000 square foot replica of the Disneyland Haunted Mansion located near Atlanta, Georgia, in the private gated community of Sweet Bottom Plantation. It is the only known house in the world that is modeled after the inspiration and actual architecture of a Disney attraction. It's a version of the Disneyland Haunted Mansion you can actually live in, located at 3816 Turnberry Court in Duluth, Georgia. With over 10,000 square feet of livable space that includes 7 bedrooms and 6 baths, there is a lot of room to entertain in this home. The home is no stranger to parties, as it has hosted many themed parties and even weddings. Owner and designer Mark Hurt says that the neighbors would ask to come into the house on Halloween because of a special themed bathroom that is featured on the first floor. In this bathroom, Mark created an actual animated ghost scene. By secrets only known by Theme Park Connection, when you are washing your hands, the lights start to flicker and the Haunted Mansion attraction music sounds, and to your surprise, a ghost appears in the mirror. A video of this can be seen on their website. Unfortunately, no tours are available. Only real estate agents and pre-qualified buyers will be able to make appointments to view the home. Pair the Disneyland Haunted Mansion attraction spiel, there is always room for one more, but in this case, it's one more family. No ghosts, please. For more details and videos of this house, visit themeparkconnection.com/hauntedmansionhome/index.html. The Big Scary Show has a link on their Facebook page. We have a little bit of news on HauntCon 2013. HauntCon is proud to announce the 2013 Spotlight Tours as the convention heads to the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area. On April 25th, that's a Thursday, the Thursday night Spotlight Tour will be at the 13th Street Morgue /Dungeon of Doom in Red Oak, Texas. On Friday night, April 26th, the Spotlight Tour will feature Cutting Edge Haunted House in Fort Worth. And on Sunday night, on April 28th, they'll be touring Zombie Manor in Arlington, Texas. Join us in thanking these spectacular attractions for opening their businesses to the industry. We could not do HauntCon without the support of haunters like Alex Lohman from the 13th Street Morgue, Todd James from Cutting Edge Haunted House, and Dean Jarnig from Zombie Manor. Stay tuned to HauntCon's website and Facebook pages because there are many more haunted houses in Dallas that want to be a part of HauntCon 2013, and they're expanding the HauntCon pre-show tours to include Haunt Show tours on Tuesday, April 23rd and Wednesday, April 24th. As soon as they have the final agreement signed, they will be announcing those tours. For more information, visit hauntcon.com. Remember, if you have any information in the haunt, horror, or Halloween industry, please email it to us at news@bigscaryshow.com and we'll get it on the air. This concludes this edition of Deadline News. This concludes this edition of the Big Scary Show's Deadline News.
Cats with Photoshop faces, Highlands of Scotland, goats and trees. Why doesn't anybody have a calendar which speaks to my passion? Wait a minute, what's this? HectorTurner.com, the 2013 Haunted Halloween Calendar? Oh, this is perfect. Oh, this would look great in a workshop. Better yet, at the office.
Reserve your copy of the calendar now at HectorTurner.com.
Broadcasting to you from the darkest reaches of the earth. This is the Haunt Minute. And now, with this week's commentary, Storm.
Alright, so the other day I was confronted by my arch nemesis during breakfast. One of the just most frightful things that I have to ever take on. The tube that, like the Pillsbury Crescent rolls and biscuits come in. This thing always makes me jump. I never know when it's going to pop open with how much force, and just drives me nuts every time. So I commented about this, and another friend of mine in the haunt industry came back with the same problem with champagne corks. And I'm thinking, you know what? I spend so much time working on haunts, trying to build fear, get the best scare, entire 30-minute hayrides, collaborating to find out what's going to build up the tension and work with it. And here's our answer. Next year, we're just going to make a haunt with thousands of champagne bottles and Pillsbury rolls, all along the walls. And you gotta walk through, and you'll never know when one's going to pop. scariest haunt ever. So until next time, keep every minute scary.
Get your Stormy Rant fix in 140 characters on Twitter at Big Scary Storm.
Hey, this is Josh Gates from Sci-Fi's Destination Truth, encouraging you to check out hauntminute.com.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Big Scary Show. We hope you're enjoying all the really cool stuff that has happened before this point in the show, which, of course, as you know by now, is our infamous Round Table of Terror. And hopefully we are smack dab in the middle of the haunt season. You guys are out enjoying haunted houses, visiting them, paying money to the owners and making them all happy, and being horribly scared by all the horrific and terrifying actors out there, and getting ready for your Halloween parties, etc. We have decided that because it is the Halloween season and we're all so busy acting and working and doing all our cool stuff, we decided to have a complete free-for-all, no-themed Round Table of Terror tonight. So we put the call out. The first 5 people to respond to our call are on the phone with us tonight. Our free-for-all Round Table of Terror. Excuse me. In no particular order, we have actor from the Dent Schoolhouse down in Cincinnati, Mr. Damian Reaper. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. From Nightmare, New England, up in Derry, New Hampshire, actress Amanda Revenge.
Hey.
Nice to hear from you. We have Mrs. I don't know, sorry. Jonna Bryant from Fayetteville, Arkansas, home haunter with Banshee Manor. Are you there?
I am here.
Excellent. We have Rob Metcalf from the Haunted Appalachian Caverns in Bluntville, Tennessee. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Hey, guys.
Hey, good to hear from you. And Tater. No, actually, Tater, the actor from Pataskala, if that's correct, Ohio. How are you tonight, sir?
Well, I'm good, but I'm going to make sure that it's going to be the last time you guys be on the air. I'm pretty sure of it.
We're pretty confident of that, too. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have no theme here tonight. I want to welcome our hosts from Rhode Island, Storm.
Greetings.
We have from Cincinnati, the unknown scare actor.
Greetings, everybody.
All the way out in Sin City, Las Vegas, Jerry Vane, the Haunt Rocker.
Hey-ho.
And I am Drew Badger down in Charlotte. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the free-for-all Round Table of Terror. Please don't all talk at once, or you can. We don't care. So basically, for a non-topic show like this, let's just throw out the first question. Halloween, you like it or you don't? Go. Anybody in particular can start that one.
I love
Well,
it.
honestly, in our line of work, I mean, since most of us seem to be actors, directors, whatever, I mean, we all pretty much have to love it. Especially since we're listening to your show, that pretty much tells us we all love it.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
I don't like it. I think it sucks.
Oh, Lord, we're being joined with Granny way too
Hey, now you stop it. You behave now. You listen, you old bag. You shut up. Tater's doing something. Thanks, Dwayne.
Great. Now we have 7 guests.
Oh, boy. We have enough microphones. So, guys, go ahead. From the actor's standpoint, how did you guys get involved in the haunted industry, and how did you wind up being actors? We'll throw that out. Amanda first.
My story is actually kind of funny because I am actually terrified of haunted houses. Like, I am terrified to step in them, and I step in them now, but I never stepped foot in a haunted house when I started working at Nightmare New England, and started working back in 2008, and I was in theater for a long, long time, and I always liked horror, and I was like, hey, this makes sense, why not work in a haunted house? So that's how I got into acting in haunted house, and ever since then, it just took off, and I loved it, and now I go to all the conventions and everything. It's great. I love scaring the crap out of people.
Are you still terrified of haunted houses?
I am, but now when I walk into haunted houses, I do a trick where I just snap into a character so that I'm not afraid anymore.
Do you go on the haunt tours when you do the conventions?
Yes, I do. I think the scariest one for me was the haunted hoochie. That got me.
That's a great one.
Yes, that was awesome.
How about you, Damien? How'd you kind of get started in this whole madness?
I would be back in 1998. A friend of mine, Andy Becker, which is the creep over at the Dent Schoolhouse, got me involved with the Dungeons of Delhi. It was a charity haunt, and then I got with Bud Strauss from the Dent Schoolhouse probably in 2006, and then officially worked for them in 2007, and I'm still with the Dent Schoolhouse, and tell you about it.
I think you were the very first actor I met at the Dent Schoolhouse when MHC did their tour there in 2008. I believe you were either the caretaker right there at the very beginning. So,
yeah.
So, and that was very good. I remember that very well. How about you, Rob? How did you kind of get started in this?
Actually, mine came from I was working at a multi-fandom convention, and I got to be really good friends with some of the haunted house guys that run Ruby Falls Haunted Cavern in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Love that.
And I ended up getting to work with them. Then I moved back to the area that I am now, a little closer to Virginia side, Bristol, Tennessee. And I ended up, they were looking for a director to take over the Haunted Appalachian Caverns in Buffalo, and that's where I'm at now.
How was it working in Ruby Falls? That's just a location alone, underground. How cool is that?
Yeah, it was definitely a really unique experience seeing how they utilize the cave for the cave. That's why I'm so happy to be where I'm at now, because now I get to do a lot of the same things that those guys taught me, because I'm in a cavern of my own now. So.
How about you, Jonna?
Well, I've always been obsessed with Halloween, and I've always enjoyed decorating my yard, but it was always, things I buy at Walmart and things like that. And about 4 years ago, I decided, money was tight, and I was like, well, surely there's a way to make some of my own decorations, and started Googling, and before I knew it, this whole world of the haunting industry and home haunting and everything kind of opened up to me, and it's been my obsession and my passion ever since. So I'm really fairly new to this. I've only been doing officially home haunting for about the last 4 years, and I'm definitely guerrilla haunting. I'm very frugal. Why buy it if you can get it for free? So I'm the one that's out, garage selling and going to the hazardous waste and picking up free paint and things like that. But I have a background in business. And I also used to do community theater, and so haunting is the first thing I've ever found that's actually satisfied both my right side and my left side of my brain, and I'm just totally obsessed with it.
And how about Tater? I know you've got stories to tell, but what are your humble origins?
My humble origins started in a haunted forest run by a Lions Club back probably 22, 23 years ago, and my dad took me out and let me and him play monster together. and he would always be within 5 feet or so of me to make sure I wasn't getting trampled on or anything like that. But from there, it blossomed into I was a trail monster, then I was a guide, then I ran my own scene, and then Granny came about, and the rest is pretty much history.
I never did ask, how long has Granny been around? I know Duane's been kind of a recent character for you, but, you know, a lot of people know Granny that don't know the person behind it, but how long has Granny been on the scene?
Let's see, MHC is celebrating, their 10th year this coming year, so Granny has been around 9 years.
Wow.
She started the 2nd year of MHC.
And you're actually officially Granny number 2, if I'm correct.
You are correct, but Granny number 1 is, I don't believe, is no longer around. And
well, Maddie still is. I'm sure she's in the scene, so to speak. I know she's down this area now. She's no longer up your area, so I'm not real sure how that's come about. But maybe we'll find out one day.
Well, that brings up a question that I've was thinking about, and for Rob and for a couple of guests, I don't know if you guys have your own characters or not, but as far as Amanda and Damien and Tater, how did you come up with your quote-unquote signature character? I know, Amanda, you have Lilibeth. Is it Lilibeth?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Lily the clown, and then I have a Demonia.
And then Damien, you're just Damien.
Yes, Damien Reapers. I've been
Let
him
me-
forever.
And
let
then
me just interject for a second. I was going to say, Damien Reaper is actually not his real name. I won't say his real name, but for the first 2 years I worked at Dent, I thought his name was Damien Reaper.
But how did you guys come up with your quote unquote signature characters? Anybody? Go.
I came up with them when I started in '98. I just watched a lot of Undertaker and listened to Kiss and Alice Cooper, and kind of took what I liked about all three of them and kind of mixed this into a larger-than-life guy. In 3 years, I would change them depending on what room I was. So he kept on evolving, and even to a point where I was a minister wearing tights, which was horrible.
Yeah, but the Undertaker wears tights too, so.
Yeah. He doesn't have as nice as butt as I do, but.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Then when I went to Dent, I was the caretaker for 3 years, and then I became a counselor, then a biker last year, and now I'm a priest again. And I cut my hair short, so it's something new for me.
You don't touch the little boys, do ya?
No, I don't. But I will take one of my crucifixes and shove out the rear ends.
I think that's touching them.
Okay, it's not by my hand.
Okay, since that voice popped up.
Keep Granny out of the sherry, please, Tater, if you can.
I'm sorry. She just keeps... I'll lock her in the basement.
Thank you.
Okay, Tater, what made you decide to come up with Granny for your character?
Granny was the first year MHC was around, a guy in my acting troupe was a part and won by the name of Lizzie. Won it, and we were sitting around at a meeting and trying to figure out who can be the next person to win the pageant, because we need to win it a second year in a row. And I opened my mouth and said, you ladies are scary enough without makeup on, one of you can step up and do it. And from that, which volunteered me into the pageant, so I went immediately to my grandma's house and got the blue dress that Granny still dons to this day. And I went to a wig store in a bad neighborhood and got Granny's wig. And then after that, I didn't have really anything. Night of MHC rolls around. I have to be in the pageant. I had a makeup artist lined up. They're doing my makeup, and I do the, oh! And I just look out of the corner of my eye, and I see Kathy Schifferstein shiver and tremble, and said, "That's the most annoying voice I could ever imagine." And there you have it. Ever since that was Granny's voice, and that's who she was. So
that's fantastic.
Okay, Amanda, how about you?
My original character, Demonia, which is a demon zombie little girl, that got created actually in the haunt because I just saw like so many little kids coming through, and it always confused me. I was always like, why are these little kids coming through? And they'd always be crying and terrified. So I kind of did something where I wanted to scare the parents and not the kids. So I made myself a little kid so I could be friendly with the kids still, and then still creep out the parents if I really wanted to. And so I started like looking into psychology a lot. And if you're a little kid walking through a haunted house, if you hear something or see something that you already know, you're not going to pay attention to it as much. So I started out saying these nursery rhymes where the beginning of it would be like a regular nursery rhyme, and the ending of it is just really, really creepy. Like, for example, Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater, choked to death, and then I ate him. That's one of my favorite ones to say. So the little kid will stop at, like, Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater and not pay attention to me, and then I'll hit the adults with the last one, and then everyone just gets creeped out. And that's where she came from, and she's evolved over the years. And then Lily the Clown actually started at MHC. I think that was 2010, where I really wanted to do a clown character, and I just loved Halloween, so I just had like a combination of the tunes. And then I was in an elevator with a bride and like her bridesmaid, and for some reason, just this accent came out, like a southern accent, and like I just started like ranting, and that's how she came about, and she's evolved as well. And it's kind of cool seeing like all these characters, especially from like other people, evolve and change all the time and become better. So those are my two origins, so to speak.
Now, Rob, do you have a signature character?
Actually, right now we're still fairly new haunt. I'm still trying to find my place for one. The one I'm actually portraying this year is going to be patient number 83, because with our insane asylum theme, we gave all the patients just numbers, no names. And he's actually going to be a mute slider.
Ooh, nice.
So, because I've learned through the years that I can actually talk just as much with my eyes as I do with my mouth, just by the different looks that I give people. And I do have a lot of people that come up and try to break my character, especially when I'm out working the queue lines and everything. So.
How do you like sliding?
I absolutely love it. To me, that's one of the biggest rushes I've found working in the haunt industry. Because, I mean, it really, when I'm sliding, it's my time to let go, especially where I'm one of the directors up there. I mean, my days get pretty rough sometimes, and that's just kind of my let-loose time.
Oh, it's better than therapy, isn't it?
It really is. It's its own therapy, though, that's for sure. And especially sliding down in the cave sometimes does add a different dimension to it, too, because I've actually learned some places I can slide off of some rocks and jump in front of people and stuff like that, too.
Ooh, I hadn't even considered that. That's awesome. How do you get to spark off the rocks?
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It depends on how damp it is in the cave that day.
Wow.
And then, plus, you know, the dampness in the cave does create a lot of problems for the electrical we use in the cave. So.
Oh, of course.
And what about you, Jonna? Do you have a specific character or?
Well, this is the first year. Banshee Manor this is the first year we're using this name and this theme. And before it's just been, you know, kind of zombie. 1 year I was, you know, just kind of random characters. But this year I've actually fleshed out a storyline and going with the whole. I'm doing kind of the storyteller aspect of that's the character I'm going to be, kind of the narrator, and kind of telling the trick-or-treaters the story of Banshee Manor and why these different ghoulish things are happening and stuff. And I'm bringing in a lot of actors who have not done this before, so I have to kind of keep myself free to be the director as well. So it's going to be a new experience for me.
Well, you know, it'll just take some time for you to get used to everybody and have them getting used to you. But with your storyteller type of character, it should work well with the theming that I understand for your haunt.
That's what I'm hoping. I used to do, living histories with the local historical society. So I'm hoping that experience of being the storyteller and kind of setting the mood and everything, I think that will serve me well.
Okay. Well, I've got a question now for all of our guests. And I know that, I know, Jonna, that you've got pretty new with your characters, and Rob, he's got his hands full. But for everybody at large, I know that most of you have your signature characters. Is there a type of character that you haven't done in the past that you would like to do in the future? And we'll start with Tater on this one.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Oh, sure. Stay off of Facebook, will you? Is there, you've got Dwayne, you've got Granny. Is there a character you have not done yet that you would like to do in the future, a type of character?
Oh, there's definitely more characters floating around in my mind. There's the son of the Grim Reaper named Steve, Steve the Reaper. I talked briefly about him at Fear Camp. Eduardo, the Latin lounge singer, the zombie boxer character. There's always new characters floating around in my head, and somebody can say one thing and it'll trigger a whole, not necessarily a whole slew of images, but some images and in a voice that would come to the character in my head, and I would write that down. So, yes, there are 3 characters at least right now floating around in my head that might get premiered this season, next season, or, whenever. The problem is if I premiere those characters and people will go to the shows to see, like, Granny or Dwayne, and they don't get to see them, then they get angry and upset. And I don't want to upset anybody. So it's kind of a balance between creating new characters and being up to snuff with the new characters to rehatching some of the old characters, too.
Okay. Rob, how about you? I mean, I know that you've got your hands full with sliding and everything, but is there a specific type of character that you would like to try in the future?
Actually, yeah, there's one I'm planning on hopefully trying to use for next year, because especially when we got the cave, I'm really interested in doing, like, this psychotic mind worker. I haven't quite named the character yet, but, it would be the mind worker that's been down in the cave so long that it's drove him crazy, and he's eventually, just killing everybody and going on that way.
Okay. Jonna, how about you? Anything on the horizon that you'd like to try?
The world is open to me. There's a gazillion things I want to try. Like I said, I'm really new at this, and I'm hoping to perhaps next year being able to actually become a full-blown charity haunt, and doing more inside things instead of just the yard home thing, and that opens me up. I'm kind of at a disadvantage right now because the time I have with people is very limited. So there's not a whole lot of time for character development. It's basically quick startle, give them their candy, and they're gone. But, yeah, I've definitely been trying to flesh out, different storylines and different characters that I want to see in the future. Now, which I'll be playing and which other people will be playing, who knows? It's really open right now. The world is my oyster.
And it's a beautiful oyster, isn't it?
It is. Kind of ghoulish, a little green about in the middle, but, hey, it's good.
Sure. All right, Mr. Reaper, what about you?
There's so many ideas. It's just while the reviewers or whoever knows my character wants to come and see me, or Dent knows I work there, kind of hard to do different characters. I have a couple done for videos, like Blammo for the Journey video that we did, or Dent, which is a mix between Joker and Uncle Fester. There's Scar that I kind of had just a crazy person that kept on beating himself in the face with his fist. And that's about it.
Okay. And Amanda, how about you?
Yeah, there are actually like a ton of characters that I want to play, and that I'm planning on. I have some few tricks up my sleeve still. I definitely want to try a mental patient, because I think that would be awesome. So I could just completely just go insane and make no sense whatsoever and just babble, and that would be really fun, I think, to play. And then I have a character that I've been working on for a couple of years, and it's a sort of a necromancer character, which raises people from the dead, obviously. And I would really like to get that fleshed out, because I think that would be cool, because I don't think I've seen a necromancer yet. But and then there's, of course, characters that I wanna definitely play around more with. Like, I have a doll character called Doll Number 52, which I premiered at MHC for the Costume Ball past year. And then my nurse, I want to bring out more.
Okay, I was just wondering, have any of you actors gone out, to grab a bite to eat or go through a drive-thru or anything like that, in character, in full makeup? Because I have done that before, and it is freaking hilarious. And I was just wondering if you guys had any experiences of some interesting incidents like that you've had.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I have, I think I do that almost every haunt night that we're open. We all go out to Denny's or like the airport diner near us. And I think the funniest story I have is in Denny's there was like I think 30 haunters and like 20 non-haunters, and they were all on separate sides of the room, and a bunch of us left, so it was me and about 14 other people. And on the non-haunter side of the room, there's a bunch of windows where they were sitting, and we all crouched down in the bushes, and all at the same time we all stood up and tapped on the glass right behind the people eating, and they all freaked out and lost it. I had someone hide underneath their table. It was funny.
The last year Transworld was in Chicago, Barry and Kathy and Kelly and Nina decided to tell me to go get ready. For some reason, they tricked me into going to get Granny's makeup on. So I got dressed as Granny and came back to their room. And then we went to continue to like a really fancy 4-star restaurant in Chicago with Granny. And if you can just imagine the hijinks that happened there, and I'm not allowed back in that restaurant, or let alone to be anywhere near a restaurant as Granny anymore if the haunt owner knows what's good for him.
I am absolutely talking to Kathy about this next time I see her.
Yes. Damien, you've gone out to eat, haven't you? You went to Steak and Shake.
Oh, yeah. Many times wore Steak and Shake, and going through a drive-thru with blood all over my face, and seeing the person jump back, the cashier. Something happened to you? No, I work for a haunted house. Or walking around in the grocery store and getting some milk, and the little kid's just sitting there staring at me. Of course, I had to roll back my eyes at him, but
Badger,
maybe
you remember, wasn't there an incident where somebody was coming back home from a zombie walk and they got in a car accident and the paramedics thought they were...
Oh, that was a news story. Yeah, I remember that. There was like 4 people that got involved in a car accident. When the paramedics came out, they saw the blood and thought it was like a horrible accident, but it was just a minor fender bender, and they were just like, no, we were doing something zombie related. I don't remember. I think that was in the Northeast someplace. But yeah, I remember that. That made the news for like a day or so. That was hilarious.
I remember hearing about that out here.
As I say, I don't remember where it happened, but I just remember reading about that, like maybe last season.
Yeah, we saw something about it here in Vegas on the 10 o'clock news, and I just started busting up because I mean, yeah, with the amount of detail they do for makeup nowadays, I mean, yeah, you could look like you got totally trashed and nothing.
When I do makeup jobs for people, if I'm working at a club or working at doing the zombie walk or something, I always tell people, now the best thing for you to do is to go to Walmart when you leave here and go pick up some baby wipes and be sure and ask where the baby wipes and the Band-Aids are. And you get a lot of funny looks, but a lot of people say, hey, I'm going to go do that. That's a great idea. I never hear whether or not they do it or not, but, it's fun. I did a news story with the local NBC station here a few weeks back and did the makeup for the guy who does the early morning news. He said he was just going to pull an all-nighter, and I told him, hey, just go by and get you some baby wipes, otherwise you're going to look like that in the morning when he gets on. He said, I might just leave this on in the morning and just tell him I did stay up all night. So didn't get to see the early news, so I don't know if he did or not, but it's fun. It's all fun. It's all good.
There was a time a few years back when I was still working over at Kings Island, and I've got a Walgreens right around the corner from my house. It's 24 hours. Well, I'd gotten a text message from my wife saying, I need you to pick up something from me before you come home. So here I come, 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, I go waltzing into the Walgreens, and the manager comes running up to me and goes, oh, my God, do you need a doctor? Do you need me to call the ambulance? What? And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm an actor. We're good.
I'm merely acting.
It's just the look on his face. It was just total terror and confusion.
You were at least you weren't a Shakespeare actor dressed like that. That'd be interesting. I'm trying to enunciate to the back row.
How much preparation do you guys do either to get into character, or how much preparation do you guys do for your haunts? When did you start working for this season? I'll throw that out to no one in particular. We'll start with the haunters. Gianna, how about you? How long do you work year-round, or what?
I pretty much work year-round, not feverishly, but I'm always thinking about it, always jotting down notes. At work during the day, I'll be, doing the daily reconciliations while listening to podcasts like The Big Scary Show.
Awesome.
So it's always on my mind. A lot of people get excited about the day after Christmas sale. Not me. I'm the first one out there at the after Halloween sale.
Oh, that's the greatest day of the year.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Black Friday for us.
Yeah. So I've always got project lists, going, and always trying to mark things out. And even if it's something simple as, going to garage sales or something, it's always on my mind, and it's something I'm always working on.
Anyone else? How long does it take to either work on your character? Do you do that during the whole course of the year, or working on your haunts?
I know we start working really hard right in February. We usually take from November to February decently off, but like she just said, it's always on my mind. I'm always jotting down notes, trying to figure out how to improve upon the last season. So it is pretty much a year-round job.
Okay, what about you, Amanda?
For me, it's definitely always on my mind, and I'm always looking for new things for my clown, or just little things here and there, or even stuff for new characters that I want to bring out. I'm always looking for it. And also, I'm also a year-round actor and makeup artist in general, so sometimes I'll get gigs here and there. For example, I just did about 25 zombies makeups for a commercial that's going to be coming out, and I can't say what it is yet, but and that was just the other week. So I'm always doing stuff Halloween horror related. This is awesome.
It's time to build your undead horde with the best rated zombie props 2 years in a row. You'll find them at creepycollection.com, along with the scary creepy clown props, the frozen meat locker props, the deadly doll props, the creepy killer props, and the deadly deal life-size bodies. creepycollection.com, the online source for all your pro haunting and animatronic needs. You'll find Creepy Collection props in many venues, from yard haunts to major screen parks, to movie production and even crime scene investigation. Featuring FearFlex technology, Creepy Collection is taking the static out of static. For your gore and more, that's Creepy Collection at www.creepycollection.com.
Damien?
I usually always do it all year round. Anyway, I know the guys from Dent, they start working on it in November. I've helped them sweep the place up, but I don't know how to build, so I can't help them with that. But I always have different projects. Right now I'm trying to draw a comic book for Damien and some of the characters of Dent, and
that's cool.
I had a band for a while called Sons of Damnation, which we're trying to get back together again. I'm always doing something as Damien all year round. I don't think I've ever had an off day.
Damien never takes his makeup off.
No.
Damien needs
right
to put Granny in his comic.
Oh, God.
We can do that. I can do that.
Don't let Granny up out of the basement to answer that, though.
I was going to say, do you want me to unlock her? Because she can come back up. Right now, Dwayne's guarding the door. I gave him plenty of hunting juice and a shotgun, and he's watching the door for her. So, yeah, man, I got it. I got the door. Don't worry. You know, I'm going to hump her later.
I know I've seen people like Granny and Damien and other characters at conventions and things like that. So you guys do kind of live the character year-round, so to speak. How much, and this goes out to everybody, how much of your character is you in real life?
None of it.
Yeah.
I think you're the first person that's ever said that. I think most people are like, well, it's only a little bit of an extension of my character.
You mean you want me to admit that Granny, the rude, crude, selfish, obnoxious woman that she is, you want me to say, well, she's part of me?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Just be honest.
I can't attract women like that.
The funny thing is that when you're in costume and when you had the appendages that one time that I guess you lost or something like that, and even the painted ones now, you got more chicks hanging on you than I can even think of.
And you know he's jealous as all get out, too.
Oh,
I
I'm totally jealous.
I'm jealous. It's okay, Jerry. I'll put you in a dress next year for MHC.
Oh, I would pay to see that.
I've worn more makeup than any woman that I know, so you ain't gonna surprise me.
Oh, we know. We've seen your profile pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Break out the Saran wrap, and we'll see
Reynolds
if
Wrap.
he'll
I
get
was
into
endorsed by it. Reynolds Wrap.
Exactly.
Keeps meat fresh.
I think that whenever I'm haunting or when I'm in character, that's actually the true me, because I have to put on a very businesswoman persona during the day. I'm, a mother of 2 grown children. I'm just, definitely not what you would think. If you saw me in a lineup and they said pick out the haunter, it would definitely not be me. So I feel almost like my daytime persona that pays the bills is the character I'm playing, and the rest of it is really me.
How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I think that.
Go ahead.
Well,
Rob, you sound different. Go ahead, Amanda. I'm sorry you chimed in before I finished there.
Oh, it's okay. With Willoughby, the clown is definitely not at all like me, because Lily is kind of a dirty, sleazy pervert who got kicked out of the circus, and she's really vile. And like, if you ever see me out of makeup and character, which is very rare, besides the last day of MHC this year, but if you ever talk to me outside of conventions and outside of haunt season, I'm not at all like that. So it's kind of interesting. And then with Demonia, I'm not really like her either, because she's really childish and she's a little kid, which isn't like me. So it's really interesting to play someone who is definitely not at all like you, and it's also really fun as well.
Rob, do you have one of those, like, drive a hearse or anything like that, or have some sort of extension of your character?
Yeah, in all honesty, most of the characters I've portrayed in the past, I think, have all been extensions of my personality that I suppressed during the day. Because I know one year when I was at Ruby Falls, I had to play a demented butcher at a butcher shop they had that year. And for like 12 years, I was a butcher. So, I mean, it was kind of second nature, but it was all the things that I always wanted to do to the rude customers that I got to act like I was doing all the time. So maybe in my mind I'm a little warped, but that's the way I look at it.
Well, that kind of segues into my next question for everybody, and this goes out to all the guests, not just the actors versus the home haunters. How much of your frustrations of the day do you use to take out on people who come through your haunts?
Does it have to be just the day, or could it be the whole year?
That too. It could be the whole year. I mean, how much do you? I mean, do you just really just let them give everything that you had pent up inside of you forever, however long, and project it against the people that come through?
A lot.
Yeah.
And we'll start with Jonna.
Because I'm laughing the most about that.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, you get somebody, you know, you're dealing with in your office who you don't particularly like, or you're having a bad day with the boss or something like that. And I come home and I go into my laboratory and I get to, you know, make all kinds of freakish, demented things and torture, you know, foam. And so I take out a lot of my frustrations.
Okay. How about you, Amanda?
Definitely all of my frustrations pent up throughout the year, I take it all out of my system during haunt season. And especially on the last day, because on the last day, I just push myself. Because it's like, hey, I'm not going to be able to take out my frustrations like this for pretty much a whole year. So then it's like negative frustration going into the next couple of days after that. So all of my frustration gets used during haunt season. It's a great motivator.
Yes, it is. Damien.
It's a year-round frustration, and that creates the damnation within. So, you know, stupid people, just in general, just pretty much the whole day in and day out, just frustration of every single day, and get into that one. I'm always waiting for that one day when we open, so I can just take everyone's souls. So.
Okay. And Tater.
Yeah, if you catch me on a really bad day, then you better beware, because Granny's coming out and she's going to make somebody cry, or somebody curl into the fetal position, and you're probably going to get complaints about it. With that being said, I generally try to keep myself in a good mood and when I travel to haunts, because I really, as much as it sounds like I like to, I really don't want the owner to get complaints about my acting or any of the characters that are appearing at their haunt. I try hard to make sure that the haunt looks good, no matter what, because I don't like ruining haunts for people. But yeah, I have bad days and Granny comes out. Other times I have really silly days, and it gets goofier and goofier. It's just natural habit to me. You know, channel your anger and frustration into your acting and make it part of your character. Seems to work the best for me.
Now, for people that don't know, you do travel around the country. People do hire you to have Granny come to a haunt for a weekend. You're still doing that. You're right. You know, you're traveling now, going here, going there, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm still traveling around the country as Granny or as Duane, and maybe even both. You know, one night I will be Granny, one night I'll be Duane. Some people like the switch up. Others will demand that I be Granny both nights. Last season I did do Granny as much as I could. Unbeknownst to me, I had strep throat. Probably got it towards the middle of October or beginning of October, and towards the end of October, my voice wouldn't stay as Granny's voice for longer than a night. Then I would have to come up with another character, and luckily I always pack, you know, Granny and both Duane with me, so just in case something bad happens, or the haunt owner goes, well, you know what, Granny was great that night, but she really offended most of my guests, so can we try something new? So yes, I do travel around, and I am traveling now as we speak, getting ready to get packed and sent out to another haunt.
Very cool. So for the haunt owners out there, if you wanted to hire Granny or Duane or just lovable old Tater, you know, contact him via usual methods, and maybe next year he can come out to your haunt. How far in advance do you get booked? I mean, are you filled up by MHC or?
Usually what will happen is the haunt owner, let's say I'm appearing at Fear Fair. Fear Fair will, when I'm done acting, say, hey, can we get you for next year? And it's been to the point where it's been a year and a half waiting on traveling and haunts that want me. Wow. What I ultimately do is I try to get a mix of the old and the new. So I will take some new haunts in the year and then leave the old haunts out. But the sooner they contact me and say, hey, you know, I want you for this, is better off for them, so I can work them definitely into the schedule.
Amanda, Damien, have either of you two done any traveling to other haunts or worked at another haunt or any desire to?
For me, Damien, you go.
Just doing stuff with Dent, and I also did USS Nightmare in 2006. Nightmare, what's it called? Junction Nightmare. We did some stuff up there with them. I've done stuff with Screamakers on Cincinnati, but all I can remember right now.
That's all right. Amanda?
I would definitely love to travel. In fact, I'm actually traveling at the beginning of the season and stuff. I do believe, at least. And then I went to Dream Reapers when they had their Christmas haunt, which was amazing. And I would definitely love to travel more and see all the haunts and get back, because I just love meeting new people, and I love traveling, and I love haunted houses. So I figure that's like the perfect combination.
Very cool. Very cool. Do either of the haunt owners, do you just work the Halloween season? Like she had just mentioned, do you guys do like any kind of a Christmas event or anything else during the course of the year? Rob.
No, I'm
start with you.
strictly Halloween night right now.
So you're only open one night?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. This will be the last year, though. Next year, the plan is to be able to go partner. I have a couple of different charities that are interested in possibly partnering with me, and I'm hoping to be able to be open the whole month of October, the usual season.
How many people do you say come by in a typical year when you're only open Halloween?
Last year we had about 150 come by. That was only our third year, and it was 100% word of mouth. This year I'm doing a little bit of marketing and promotion, and really stepping up my game this year. This is my year to really shine and show what I can do, so that I can legitimately go on to the next step next year.
How about you, Rob? What kind of numbers, without getting too technical, how are you doing?
We look around somewhere between 7,000 and 8,000 people a season. So.
Oh, now I feel really crappy.
Yeah, but you got to realize too, we're in a commercial tourist attraction location anyway, so a lot of people know we exist. So.
Well, I used to work at a
You're
theme
where
park.
I want to be.
Well, John and I used to work at a Cedar Fair theme park where it was not uncommon to have 30,000 a night in the park. So, I don't wish that on anybody anymore, and I no longer work for that company. So that there's a good number and there's a bad number, and that's just too many people in my opinion.
And I've got to agree with Badger because I also work for another Cedar Fair park, and that's just a crazy number.
Oh. There is not enough security in the world to handle that many people in a park. I don't care who you are and what you got. But we're not here to talk about that.
No.
But don't feel jealous or don't feel bad about that because we all start somewhere, Everybody has started out at some point at a small haunt and worked their way up. And, we're just glad people like you are still out there putting that stuff out and considering the move to go professional.
Right.
Folks like you wouldn't, Go ahead.
Sorry. Stuff like that is what inspires what I do. I mean, even just the littlest, home haunt will inspire anything that I write. And it doesn't. You don't have to be a big haunt. Just the slightest thing will, if you've got the imagination to bring it out, then you can affect anyone around you. I mean, look at how some of the characters that some of the actors create are created, whether it be by television or anything. If you can, I always say if you can dream big and you can make it happen, and to be able to take that step from being a home haunt to possibly becoming pro, I mean, I totally commend you for it.
Well, thank you. One of the things that's really cool is that we do get to, as home haunters, is we're able to put the whole Halloween spirit, if you want to use a cliche, to the younger kids, because there's a lot of haunts out that you wouldn't want to take anyone under 13 or 14 to, because it's too in your face, it's too much gore and stuff like that. And what we do is we start, in early evening, whenever the little bitty ones, the cute, adorable ones that you just want to eat them up because they're so cute. We don't do any scare at all. And
Damien literally wants to eat them.
Well, I love kids. They taste like chicken. You get to
get in my belly.
They get to see the props, and to them, it's just you just see their faces light up. And what we do is, as the kids get older, and the night gets darker, then our scares get bigger. So that. Whenever it's full-blown dark and we're getting all of the teenagers who are technically too old to be trick-or-treating but still going out, they have to earn that candy. You got to give me some screams to get that candy bar, dude,
Darn it,
so
gonna make me
kind
work
of what
for
we do.
candy?
We make them work for it. They have to earn it.
I ain't coming.
To see a 13-year-old kid, who's really, the size of a 17 or 18-year-old kid running down the street going, dude's got a chainsaw, dude's got a chainsaw. That's why I do it. It's hilarious. But we do get to bring that Halloween spirit because so many kids are going to Malloweens or trunk or treats or, watered down, quote, fall festivals. A lot of the younger kids are missing out on Halloween, and isn't that what we really love? So I like being able to bring that as a home haunter to kids who might otherwise not get to experience that.
That's a very, very good theory and very, very good practice.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Jim and Damien, but didn't the owners of Dent Schoolhouse start as home haunters?
Yes.
So now they started as home haunters, and now they are, built up to professional haunt level of one of the best in the nation. So
that is
and with
true.
podcasts and guys like you sharing your tricks of the trade and being willing to talk to home haunters, it's amazing. And I know someday I'll get there.
And you will. It just takes a little bit of time. You've got the right attitude, and you've definitely got a vision. And I see just by talking to you that you know what you want to do, and I think you're going to achieve that. It's just going to take a little bit of time, and you've got a voice here.
I appreciate it.
Anytime you have news, be sure and send it to us.
I will.
Hey, before we wrap this, I got a challenge for Amanda and Damien. So remind.
Ooh, I love the challenge.
I know, Damien, you're known for the Reaper character, and I know I did this to you last year as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see you, Amanda. You seem to have a lot of clowns, and you said you're working on a new character. Is that correct?
Yep.
Damien, are you working on a new character as well?
This year I'm just doing a priest. It's under the Damien Reaper name, but he's a little bit different.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we try... Do you think your new characters would be ready by MHC?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Damien,
I
would love to see Damien Reaper as a clown character.
Oh, that would be cool.
Oh.
You know what? I'd like to see you as Damien.
Damien Reaper? I can't roll my eyes back in the back of my head. I'm sorry.
And you're a little skinny, too, so.
They made a whole bunch of those vice versa role switching movies back in the 80s. That might be something pretty cool.
Before we wrap this up, Storm has a question.
Yeah, one of the things I want to know, having all you guys here, and probably a lot of listeners want to know, very quickly, what is the biggest pet peeve you have from the customers who come through and patrons of your haunt? And I'll throw that one to Amanda first because, I'm familiar with the New England crowds.
The biggest pet peeve. That's a really good... I think the biggest pet peeve for me from our crowds are people... I think one of the biggest problems is, teenagers. Because teenagers here, I don't know about other haunts, but they are really, really nasty down here. And a lot of them like to get up in my face and call me, hot and say I'm attractive, which is a really big pet peeve of mine. It's like,
Is that not what I'm supposed to say to you when I see you? Because I feel like I've said that, and I thought I was giving a compliment.
I was going to say, are you hot or are you some kind of hag-looking thing? I have no idea. I've not seen your characters, so.
I guess my clown, my clown has never premiered at Nightmare New England, which is kind of funny. But with Demonia, who's a crowd favorite, she's a zombie, and when the guys like to call me hot, I'm like, first of all, that's pedophilia. Then you have necrophilia, and then I have a stuffed bear. So if you count the bear, that's kind of bestiality right there. So they're hitting all the points when they're calling Demonia hot.
Damien, what about you? What drives you nuts?
Brown M&Ms.
Yeah, that'll be a pet peeve, too.
Wait, are people just hand you bags of brown M&Ms without all the other colors?
If not now, definitely after this. For
Yeah,
sure.
no, absolutely.
yeah.
I think the Unknown Character's putting that on the Dent page right now.
Yep, already up.
Yeah. Just usually the customers that like to try to hit someone or disrespect one of our other actors. I usually can take it and kind of make a joke out of it for myself, but you disrespect one of my family members, that kind of makes me a little bit mad. So.
And you don't want to see him when he gets mad.
Is that the Dent family?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, when I was doing the guest acting at Spreaker, I saw firsthand what you guys are describing. You know, some of these idiots that go through, and you're paying this money to go through, and you're going to sit there and cause problems. I've heard about it. I've never actually seen it until it happened to me, and somebody in the industry came through, started shoving his buddy around into the sets and everything, and turned around, made a comment at me, and I turned around and fired right back at him, but I kept it in character, and it wasn't vulgar, and his mouth just kind of hung open because he did not expect that. But again, I wasn't rude, even though I wanted to, get in his face. But how many times do you guys have that happen to you on average in a season? Is it just random, or sometimes is it constant?
Constant over our place.
What's that?
It's constant over our place.
It is? What about you, Amanda?
Yeah, it's constant over here. Like, I think I deal with, because, and also with Nightmare New England. Nightmare New England is really big. Right now, I think we have currently 6 haunted attractions. We are technically called the Scream Park. So we can have, I think our biggest night was, I don't even know how many people, probably over like 2,000 people. Well over that, but it's just constant rudeness, and I would say on average 5 incidents every 30 minutes.
Jeez.
So people get brutal.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, we have all kinds of people come through and cause problems, especially this area. It's a lot of younger kids. And we try to not let them through, but occasionally the drunk person gets through that ends up groping somebody, whether it be male or female. So that's always, kind of gets on my nerves pretty well. And then right in this area, we have a bunch of really dumb, racist rednecks that come through.
Hey, now watch what you say about me.
Well, we know where Dwayne got his start.
I'm waiting for Dwayne to dress up like Granny. That'd be funny.
Her granny panties fell right off of me, and my kit and caboodle and my nuts and junk were all hanging out, all flopping around like a tackle pole, just waiting for some sort of fish. And some lady tried to nibble on my worm one time, but I said, no, you got teeth, and that hurts.
God.
Jonna, being a home haunt, what would you say your pet peeves or problems? Have you had, as you say, you had the young kids at the beginning, then you had the older ones. Do you have any issues?
We've really not had any issues other than 2 years ago we started setting up a couple weeks before Halloween, and we got some things stolen. And that was kind of frustrating because, I build about 75% of my props. And whenever you put that much hard work into something, just knowing that some punk's gone by and grabbed it and trashed it, that's pretty disheartening. So we've pretty much waited. We put up a few things that we know there's no way anyone could steal them, just to kind of let everyone know in the neighborhood and people who go by, hey, we are definitely doing the haunt this year. But the majority of our stuff goes up either the day before or the day of Halloween, and we take as much down as we can Halloween night afterwards, just so that nothing gets stolen, because I just really, can't afford and, don't want, my stuff stolen. That's really our only issue we've ever had.
Yeah, I have that happen out here. Well, I do a yard haunt, and I've had kids right there in front of me try to pick up stuff and run off with it. So my stuff goes up
wow.
at 5:05. I'm putting stuff up, and at 9:30, I'm pulling it all back in.
Yeah, which makes for a very, very long day for this old fat woman.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's what you do.
But the benefits outweigh the disadvantages of that, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
And watching the faces of the kids light up and watching all the people hopefully getting scared as they go through just makes it all worthwhile despite the minor aggravations like that, I'm hoping.
It is. Last year, my husband and I, we were doing the final touches whenever a school bus went by, and the school bus normally wouldn't have stopped there, but they stopped and let all the kids, it's a wonder the bus didn't tip over because all the kids just rushed to the side of the bus so they could look out the windows, and they were just hollering things at us like, that's so awesome, and how cool, and that was worth it. That was worth, the 3 Advils that I had to take before I went to bed that night. It was awesome.
Well, unfortunately, time is running short, so Badger, if you want to wrap this up.
Hey, you never asked me what pissed me off. Now I'm pissed off. That's it, I'm out.
Well, now we know. Neglecting Tater.
So basically, Tater gets mad when
we don't talk about him.
Yeah.
Not that there's any vanity or anything in that character.
No.
So, Tater, do you have anything?
Nope, nothing.
Oh, there
Forget
you go.
It.
Well, unfortunately, the
Tater
time
is the problem.
Look, I get aggravated when I see, and I've seen haunts open their doors for other haunted houses, and other haunters go through other, these haunts that open their doors for them, and they touch, and they pull, and they grab, and they try to steal, and it drives me up a wall. The props, if one thing I can say, the props that are in the haunted houses, they're sweet. Yes, they cost a lot of money, but they're theirs. They spent their hard-earned money. Do not touch the things. You can touch Granny all you want. Dwayne, sure, grab his butt. I don't care. But don't touch the stuff in the haunt. I know these owners scour the country and flea markets and, websites and trade shows for all the things that fit in their haunts. They don't need them to be stolen or beaten up or broken by the time your haunt goes through or any haunt goes through. It just really gets on my nerves to see that.
Absolutely. Well, unfortunately, as the Unknown Scare Actor did mention, the clock is starting to wind down this edition of the Round Table of Terror. Any last words, anything you'd like to plug, any websites, as we like to affectionately call this, the plugs, we shall start with, and we'll give you the chance to pretty much name anything you wish. We'll start with Damian Reaper.
Just the Dent Schoolhouse, brightside.com, and you can also go to my site, which is DamianReaper.com.
Okay, DamianReaper.com. Very cool. How about Tater?
Oh, you can always find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Tater. That's TEIGHTR. Or facebook.com/GrannyApproved. I am on Twitter as well under the same name, I believe. It's TEIGHTR. TEIGHTR at Twitter. So if you want to converse with... Now remember, folks, you're talking to me. You're not talking to Dwayne. You're not talking to Granny. Please don't ask to message them. It doesn't get a good response. So just for the record, you're talking to Tater, the handler of the two characters, and maybe, try to talk to him as civil as you can, because I am... Okay, never mind. I'm not even civil. Never mind. Forget it.
He's a really sensitive guy.
I cry a lot.
How about Amanda? Anything you'd like to plug?
Nightmare New England Spooky World at spookyworld.com. And also, I currently am trying to promote a zombie pinup calendar for 2013. And if you research Zombie Pinup Calendar 2013 on Facebook, Facebook group should come up, and right now we are also on Kickstarter for the time being, which I'm not too sure when that runs out. I think shortly, but those will also be available for sale, so you can have them for next year. And who doesn't love hot zombie pinup girls? So, yeah.
Very, very cool. Thank you. Rob Metcalf, what would you like to plug?
All right, definitely going to plug Haunted Appalachian Caverns. You can find us online at hauntedappalachiancaverns.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter, and the tags on those are Haunted Appa Caverns. And definitely, if you're up in the East Tennessee area, definitely come see us. We're about 5 minutes from Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. So.
Very, very cool. And last, certainly not least, Jonna, what have you got for us?
I could be reached at, you can email me at screen@bansheemanor.com. And hopefully the website will be up by the time this airs, and that will be bansheemanor.com.
Very, very cool. We'll be looking for that. Well, Damien, Tater, Amanda, Rob, and Jonna, it has been a distinct pleasure for our very first free-for-all on the Big Scary Show. Again, we didn't know where the conversation was going to go. And
last. First and last. You forgot the last part.
Very, very likely our last. We'll see. Time will tell on that. But we had no idea where the conversation was going to go. We kind of let it dictate as it may, and I think some people will be pleased with the results. The majority may not, but that's another time and another place. But anyway, I'd like to thank Storm.
Yeah.
The Unknown Scare Actor.
Always a pleasure.
The Haunt Rocker Jerry Vane.
Had a great time. Thank you.
Late for dinner, probably.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. And myself, Drew Badger from Charlotte. Once again, this is the Round Table of Terror on the Big Scary Shows. Stay tuned for more right here.
Do you hear that? The asylum is being overrun. It's time to go to Von Caron Productions and check out the Insane Ensemble. For those troublesome lunatics, they have the commitment coat, a straitjacket designed to keep them restrained. Or, if you're the doctor who likes to experiment, then the psychosurgical coat was made just for you. Go to Von Caron Productions, www.voncaron.com. That's VONCHARON, Von Caron Productions. Get there before you too are infected by the madness.
Greetings, haunters, and welcome back to the Big Scary Show. Yes, this is not Badger. This is the Unknown Scare Actor. Badger is MIA, and I think Jerry's hiding with him someplace. So you've just got the Unknown Scare Actor and Storm on the line. Hey, Storm, how's it going?
It's going good, and yes, maybe we hid the bodies, maybe we didn't. But this interview is ours!
And we have with us on the line, actually, Victor Ives, a.k.a. The Undertaker, and we're going to talk about hot sauce. Who out there doesn't love a good hot sauce? Victor, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Greetings.
Greetings. We talked a couple weeks ago, and, we wanted to get this scheduled. Let's talk hot sauces. I am a big fan of hot sauces. My wife thinks I'm a little bit psychotic about them and won't let me try some. So let's talk about Halloween hot sauces.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Basically, Halloween hot sauce. I've always loved Halloween. Growing up, always big fan of Halloween. And I've always been passionate about spicy food products. I have a background in the restaurant industry. I learned all about cooking Cajun. So one of the things I've always wanted to try and do is combine 2 or 3 of the things that I'm really passionate about, that I really love, to make just something that people would enjoy. When I originally started, it wasn't to be a business. I didn't say, hey, what am I going to make to sell to people? It was just, first of all, trying to make really interesting hot sauces that appealed to me. Personally, I'm not the type of person who wants the real super spicy, nuclear, burn your face off kind of hot sauce. Those things are out there. I just wanted to make something that would make my food taste the way that I always wanted everything to taste. Just the right amount of garlic and just the right amount of, sauce and spice and heat and something that I could use every single day. And I started serving that at my Halloween parties. And, like we do, like us haunters do, we'll put everything in these creepy little jars and bottles, and we'll call it, Flesh Feast or Ghoul Drool, or we'll call it all sorts of creepy stuff just, because it's fun. And, some of my guests would say, hey, wait a minute, where can I get this? Can I get more of this? So, that was one of the first things that told me that I actually might have some sort of a saleable product here.
Okay. Well, you said you had a culinary background. Anything in particular that you enjoyed cooking, or any specific, what's the word I'm looking for?
Cuisines.
Thank you. It was eluding me. Thank you very much, Storm.
I grew up in upstate New York, and there really wasn't much up there in the way of fancy food. But I was born in Miami, so I always kind of knew I would get back to kind of the South Florida area. I graduated high school, and the first thing I did was shoot on back to Florida because I wasn't done with it yet. And I ended up working in a lot of restaurants in Miami. So typically there are seafood restaurants, and I started as a busboy and as a bar back, and I worked the bars and became a waiter, and I started to learn by being around the South Florida seafood restaurants about spicing seafood, and Cajun was real big down there. There's stone crab restaurants in the Gulf. So I kind of started out with spicing seafood. We had blackened grouper and a lot of the Cajun dishes. So that's what kind of appealed to me right away, was the spicy blackened cast iron skillet smoky Cajun stuff. And that totally blew me away. I was just a farm boy living in upstate New York. So this type of real robust, intense, smoky, spicy flavor was something that I really wanted to learn more about. And, being surrounded by chefs in the restaurants that I worked with, I was able to learn a lot really fast. And they were really, helpful in that respect.
Sure. I'm sitting here looking at your the three that you have on your website, and right. I'm looking at Spider Venom hot sauce, Bloody Bat hot sauce, and Grinning Skull hot sauce.
Right.
I'm not going to go into Scoville units because I do kind of understand, but like a lot of our listeners out there, it's mild, medium, or hot. Am I right?
Exactly right. When someone asks me how hot, and I get that question probably more than any other question. Oh, you make hot sauce. Well, how hot is your sauce? That's like saying, well, how you make cookies? How sweet are your cookies? Well, pretty sweet. So how hot is your sauce? Well, I in turn ask them a question. I'm like, well, when you go to a restaurant, what type of sauce do you order? When you go to the grocery store, what do you pick off the shelf? That gives me kind of a starting point, to offer them a suggestion as to what product would be the best for them. And I was Haunted Hot Sauce for a long time, and I had a bunch of products. I had, 2 of the jalapeno varieties and 3 of the cayenne varieties with different peppers, and I just started with the habanero variety. I also do the hot sauce for Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein from the Misfits. I do his variety called Doyle's Made in Hell. Okay. But, I had 8 or 9 different varieties with all different peppers, and recently I decided to just cut it down to, like you said, mild, medium, or hot. That's everybody understands that, and everyone can kind of find a place where they're happy.
Well, are you happy with your decision to cut it down to the 3, or did you enjoy making all the different varieties?
I'm working by myself on this. So while my goal is to offer everything to everyone, as it is. I'm really passionate about it, and I really want everyone to be happy. But it got to the point where, also, if you've ever ordered any of my products, you know that customer service is a big thing for me. I really want to make sure that people are satisfied and they get what they want. I always throw a bunch of fun little stuff in the boxes, little Halloween candies, and it comes with a toe tag. And I always try and I call it the Cracker Jack effect. I mean, it's like you get a box of Cracker Jack, not really for the candy, but for the toy surprise inside. I always want people to be really satisfied. So in order for me to keep kind of operating, I had to make a decision to focus on 3 products that would kind of satisfy everybody across the board and allow me to really concentrate on the experience of haunted hot sauce and Halloween hot sauce, which is just, the cool kind of apothecary look labels and the toe tag, and it comes with the, burial shroud cloth on top, and, I try to keep the whole kind of ambiance going. So as of this stage, I'm really happy with the decision I made. I'm really able to focus on these 3 products, and I think people will be satisfied with them, and honestly, more than satisfied with them. So, yeah.
Have you gotten a lot of positive feedback as far as just going to the 3? I mean, it's got to be. I mean, like you said, so much easier, and it should cover a wide variety of people with those three heat levels.
People that know haunted hot sauce have kind of decided on the ones they like, and honestly, the recipes are the same. The jalapeno variety is the same recipe as the Gould's Rule was. I mean, the medium level the Bloody Bat, the Cayenne variety I decided on was the same as Flesh Feast 2 was, because those were the most popular sellers. Those were the ones, if I sold 100 bottles of the Cayenne variety, 85 would be that variety. Of course, the green habanero or the jalapeno version, that's what everybody bought. And then the habanero version is the same as the Hellraiser was. So basically I chose the 3 most popular, most satisfying products that I sold as haunted hot sauce and tried to just focus on these 3. I mean, the reason for it is just to make everyone's experience better. I'm able to stock them. I'm able to actually drop prices a little bit. So, yeah, I mean, the point of this is just if you like hot sauce and you like Halloween, you'll love this, because I'm really passionate about both things. And the decision I made recently to do Halloween hot sauce and focus on these 3 was just so that I could better serve, the people that are just as passionate about those 2 things as I am.
Okay, well let's change gears for a second here. We've talked about the hot sauces and your cooking background. Let's talk about your Halloween background. What started sparking your interest as far as Halloween goes?
Well, I have an October birthday. My birthday's October 5th, so kind of the earliest recollection of parties for me were Halloween themed. I mean, pretty much every birthday party I had, there were skeletons hanging on people's doorways and pumpkins on their porches. So that was, for me, what a party was all about. Fun times were associated with Halloween. So
okay.
Very early on, I lived in Florida at the time, so my parents took me to Disney World, and of course the Haunted Mansion. I was 6 years old when I went to the Haunted Mansion for the first time, and I also have a background in graphic design. As a little child, I would sit on the floor of my parents' home with a chalkboard and just draw scenes from the Haunted Mansion. It really made a huge impact on me. So, yeah, from that point on, from 6 years old on, everything fun about parties were Halloween, and everything kind of imagination-wise was Halloween. So that was pretty early on, 6 years old.
Well, don't feel so bad, because you sparked a memory, because I grew up in Florida. From the age of 6 until into my 40s, I lived in Florida, and I've been to Disney World too many times to count. But the Haunted Mansion was where it all started for me. That first ride through the Haunted Mansion, and I like to do some writing. I actually wrote a story about my experiences in the Haunted Mansion as a child.
Wow.
I hope to find that stored someplace in my mother's attic. I'm hoping to find it sometime soon if it hasn't been destroyed by, bugs or whatever. But you sparked that memory talking about the Haunted Mansion, so I had to just throw that in there.
Well, that's great. I'm sure that's a lot of how us kind of hunters got going. They showed us how it was done. And for me, at such an early age, I mean, 6 years old, I went through it. And, of course, the album I had was the Chilling, Thrilling Sounds of the Haunted House, Disney's version. I would play that over and over and over, and I would draw everything I could. My mom used to get angry with me because there was a pile of chalk dust on the carpet where I would sit and just draw the Haunted Mansion, prop up the little album or the LP and just draw it over and over and over again. I mean, that scene of the Haunted Mansion in the graveyard was what scary was to me. And, the light on in the top window, that's what haunted houses have. They have lights on in the top window, all of them, as far as I was concerned. That's what tells you it's a haunted. So from 5 and 6 years old, my dad was really he really pushed it. He allowed me to kind of explore that a little bit. I mean, he's the one who would squeeze the fake vampire blood on my plastic Wolfman mask at my Halloween parties and at my birthday parties, and put the same fake vampire blood on a butter knife so I could cut myself in front of all my friends at 7. Very, very odd, arrangement. But I was doomed from day one to be a Halloweeniac, and I carried that on through from then until now.
So you combined two of your most favorite passions, and you've come out with a winning product.
I think so. I mean, it makes me happy, and it makes my customers happy. Haunted hot sauce, I shut down for a while just because it kind of got too big and my customer service was suffering. And honestly, people were clamoring for it to come back. Haunted hot sauce, I used to offer coffins with the hot sauce. I'd build these little coffins and with Spanish moss inside and little maggots and things along those lines. And since I built it all myself, it kind of got too big, and I had to back off a little bit. But honestly, I'm going to be releasing those again very soon, within the next week or so. Halloween hot sauce opened on Labor Day, and my bunch of pre-orders, so those are being filled as we speak. And so as soon as those are out the door, then I'll start building coffins again and offering them on my site. There'll be an individual coffin for each bottle, and then there'll be a larger coffin that will hold all 3 bottles. So,
okay.
People will like those.
Yeah, I remember those a couple of years back. I remember seeing those before, and I thought, how neat is this, But looking at what you've got now with your spider venom and your bloody bat and your grinning skull, just the way you have them packaged, I don't think I'd open it. I'd just put it up on my shelf and admire it.
Well, you know what? That's been my biggest problem with this business so far. Is it's been more of it's been like a haunt novelty as opposed to a food product. So people buy one, put it up, and I hear from them a lot as far as, wow, you're doing lots of cool stuff, but reorders are a problem. So, and that's also one of the things I want people to know is that this is a really delicious, wonderful quality hot sauce that I make just because I love it, packaged in such a way that it attracts attention because I love the packaging and I love Halloween also. I mean, I think that's kind of uncommon, to find a pretty decent product, because typically if something's packaged really strange, you'll buy it and then it's a mediocre product. So I'm just, trying to get the word out that, I'm really passionate about this. I make it all myself. I'm at that stage in the business where I can't make it in my kitchen anymore, so I have to pay for commercial kitchens, but I still make it in commercial kitchens by myself. After hours, FDA approved commercial kitchens. I crank the tune and rock the sauce. But it's just a lot of fun for me, and I'm really, really excited to still be doing this after. It's been 10 or 11 years, and I'm really happy that people have been so responsive.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to order myself some hot sauce because like I said, I am a fan of hot sauces. I always have to be tempered by my wife, of course. Like I said, if I try to go buy a hot sauce that she thinks or I think's too hot and just want it just to see what it's like, I have to watch myself. But I've had some pretty hot sauces in my day.
Right. Well, the habanero is the hottest I make, and that is it's greater than 7,000 Scoville units, Badger, wherever you are. I researched that, but actually that's the hottest one I do, and it's not just hot. It's habanero peppers, vinegar, and salt, like the typical habanero is. Pepper sauce is. But I also put like lots of garlic and basil and oregano and onion powder, and then I boil it all down so that it gets thick. And I mean, that's the point. It has crushed red pepper flakes too. So got lots of kind of robust garlicky, thick flavor to it, and it's honestly a little hot for me. I mean, I like the medium level cayenne varieties. Habanero is a little hot for me, but people were clamoring for something hotter. So, I mean, I just think the 3 that I chose, people really like, and they'll find a level that they're comfortable with.
Well, one of those 3 levels should do the trick for most everybody, and I'm going to have to try some Grinning Skull.
There you go. That's what I put in my Bloody Mary tonight. So I'm sweating over here. But yeah, not only is it hot sauce, but I try to make it like a decoration. I mean, Halloween hot sauce is what haunted hot sauce wanted to be all along.
Okay.
When I first started out trying to come up with a name, I'm like, well, it's Halloween. I did it in August and September 11 years ago. And I'm like, well, it's a Halloween product. And the first one was Flesh Feast to come out, and that's basically the cayenne variety. And, you know, with the coffin and the maggots and all that stuff. And I popped it on eBay. I built one, put it on eBay, and it sold for $80. So I'm like, well, somebody likes this. You know, whatever.
Wow.
You know, yeah, it's a bottle of hot sauce. You know, zombies weren't really as hot then as they are now. But yeah, it's Flesh Feast hot sauce and, you know, Wake Your Dead taste buds and all this, you know, kind of cheesy, fun horror stuff. And I put it in a coffin with maggots. I mean, who would buy food with maggots? Apparently somebody thought that was a good idea, and they spent $80 on the first one. So I did it again. And, you know, I kept building coffins and filling them with hot sauce and popping it on eBay. And, of course, people eventually got wind that, hey, wait a minute, you know, he's going to have another auction in a week, so I don't need to spend as much. So they kind of leveled out at about $30 a piece. And then when I started, you know, making them in bulk, I was able to drop the price down to about $18 with the, you know, big old bottle of hot sauce and coffins and maggots and that sort of thing. So, yeah, it was a surprise to me that people were as interested as they were. And, you know, wow, you know, I get to talk about zombies and hot sauce and Halloween all the time now. You know, that's the fun in this, and I get to meet so many people. You know, I came up with the Undertaker character to promote it, and the Undertaker character is pretty popular. I've learned a lot about haunting through him.
As far as haunting goes, have you done any haunting? Have you worked in an attraction? Had any affiliation with an attraction, or are you just like a home haunter who just likes to scare the crap out of people?
I've always been kind of a home haunter. As a kid, like I said, I grew up in upstate New York, and already was kind of felt I had the bug. You know, a teenager in upstate New York. My neighbors were 12 miles away, so I didn't do a whole lot of like trick or treating and such. But I would get a plank of wood, and I would put an old white shirt on it and cover it with paint, and I would stick a skull on it and put it next to the road and tie a little rope to the wrist of the shirt and throw it over a tree and wait for the one car to drive by that was going to drive by that day, and then pull the arm so it would wave at him, and that would just, oh yeah, I got him, you know. And that was my big haunt kind of experience. And I just, you know, watched all the monster movies and go to the TV Guide back then and you know, circle all the ones I would want to see and, you know, run around with just vast expanses of property, just, you know, being a monster. And, you know, I made a papier-mâché Wolfman mask out of, you know, obviously papier-mâché, and I brushed the family collie so I'd have hair to glue on it. Yeah, I had lots of free time and lots of space, and really, you know, so I had no real haunt experience, but talk about imagination gone wild. I had just tons of space and time. My parents were really supportive of that. You know, a big monster kid, Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine. I would buy every single one of those, and, you know, it was just all about monsters and makeup and that sort of thing. So as soon as I started working, you know, got a job, I was able to kind of support this a little bit and buy masks. And, you know, I never really owned a home early on, so I would haunt the parties. We'd have a Halloween party, and they'd say, hey, you know, Vic is kind of a creepy guy. Why don't you have him set up the party? So I'd get all my masks and all the stuff that I'd accumulated in blue lights and red lights and, you know, spiders and webs, and set up parties. And for the longest time, I did it that way. I just, you know, kind of explored my haunt creativity that way, winning costume contests, you know, all the time. And when I moved to Miami and ended up working in bars and restaurants, I'd always win the parties through the costume contest at the parties there, because I would just be over the top, sewing burlap and putting cobwebs across doorways and walking through them and just spinning around, so I was encased in cobwebs to go to this bar party, And it wasn't until I bought my first home, of course, that I actually started home haunting. But no, I'm not affiliated with any professional haunt. I've been asked to guest haunt at Netherworld here in Atlanta, which was amazing. I met Ben Armstrong a long time ago at Midwest Haunters Convention, and I march with him and the Netherworld monsters at Dragon Con here in Atlanta every year.
Oh, okay. That just went down not too long ago.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think it was Labor Day weekend was Dragon Con, so I got an opportunity to hang out with the Netherworld monsters, and they're just a little too far away for me to commit to. I mean, if I'm going to commit to haunting at a professional haunt on that scale, I need to move. Because I'm 45 minutes away from Netherworld, and I just could not commit. I mean, I wouldn't want to disappoint anyone. If I'm going to make that leap, I'm going to do it, 100%.
Right.
But it was just imagination and time. So I haunt my house. I'm working on making my garage doors look like crypts, and been carving 20 crypt plaques and all that sort of thing. But here in Ackworth, Georgia, things are kind of rural. So if I get a dozen trick-or-treaters, it'll be a lot. But I still full blast. We got to do it.
So you're kind of back to your roots just in a different state. You've got the big open spaces and not too close neighbors. But that's okay.
The neighbors are closer. It's just with the economy the way it is, people aren't buying and selling homes. So,
oh, yes.
All of the little kids that were in my neighborhood have grown up and moved on, and there's been no little kids to replace them. I'm in a dead end. I mean, literally, you couldn't plan this any better. I'm in a dead-end cul-de-sac on Moonlit Lane. So, I mean, you can't write that stuff.
Yeah, no, I think that's how half the horror movies that are coming out starts with.
Exactly, right. So, yeah.
In a world where hot sauce is made on Moonlit Drive on a dead end.
That's exactly it, yeah. And the story behind my hot sauce is that this Undertaker character creates them from peppers he grows on a cemetery, so the peppers are being kind of fed by disgruntled souls, buried under Moonlit Hill Cemetery. So there's a whole backstory that goes with it. But so I haunt my house, and the earlier I get it done in the year, of course, the more I can kind of advertise and get people back here to the dead end cul-de-sac on Moonlit Lane.
That's just amazing that it all falls into place like that.
Well, my cell phone number ends in 6662, and that's purely coincidental. So I don't know. It's the stars or whatever written in the pentagram or something.
Storm, do you have any other questions for Victor?
Well, Vic, you've explained how you're involved in the haunting industry and, that culture. Have you done anything in the hot sauce culture? Because I know they got big conventions and, it's a big industry.
It is, yeah. I read some statistics last year of how it's doubled and tripled over the last few years, probably one of the biggest growing industries. And honestly, I have not. And I started out when I first started making this sauce, everyone said, "Oh, it's a great sauce. We want to get some." So I'm like, "Well, it's a Cajun sauce and it has a Cajun background." So I tried to market it as a Cajun sauce. Tyree Trudeau's Backwoods Bayou Louisiana hot sauce. That just rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it? I saw an ad for Jack Daniels that said officially it's called Jack Daniels Old No. 7 Sour Mash Whiskey, but you can ask for Jack. So I built all my advertising around that, but you can ask for Tyree's. And it had a small kind of local following, and people bought it as Tyree's. But you're right, unless you're going to do the circuit, you're going to get out there and you're going to put your product in people's faces and in their mouths, then it's hard to really stand out as a Cajun, on yet another Cajun hot sauce. I mean, how many hot sauces do you see at these conventions? So I made it locally, and I sold it at TyreeHot.com and that sort of thing. Just, not really doing too well. as soon as I started bottling this stuff in kind of the Haunter monster way, and then I sold one for $80, I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute here. I might have something, and it's unique to me. You know, it's Halloween and monsters and flesh feast and coffins, and it's my hot sauce. So I kind of pursued it more as kind of a haunt novelty initially than as yet another hot sauce product. And you're right, it's food. The bottom line is I got to get out there, and people have to put it in their face. So I try to, I try to sponsor, conventions by sending stuff out. A few years ago, Kevin Alvey did a botulism buffet for me, where he built this horrific corpse, and I built it looked like a little metal kind of a box that was sticking in this thing's chest, and I put all my hot sauces on top, and he, for me, carved little spots in this corpse to hold chips and such. So we had kind of a little display there, but that was probably 3 or 4 years ago at Midwest Hunters Convention. So I try to get it out there and get people to try it because it's really good. But I think my success in this particular vein is going to be in kind of the haunt novelty approach, and that's another reason why I changed it to Halloween hot sauce. I need to make it a little bit more mainstream, so perhaps a Spirit might like, or Walmart or Target, or who knows. I could see these products in stores like that, whereas in the past, I don't know if you'd see Flesh Feast in Target. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. But it's certainly a lot more fun to dress like an Undertaker and sell hot sauce at a haunt convention than to go to a food convention. Although, your suggestion might be really the way to go. Not sure yet.
Oh, that's definitely part about. What about, for the output you're doing and stuff, have you ever thought of, are you at a level where some of the haunt owners listening to this interview now, and especially for next year, would they be able to order like a case or two, use it in some of the products that they're selling at the haunt, and maybe have a bottle or two out there on any counters or anything they have? Is that something you've given thought to, or at a level you think you're at now?
I was contemplating that as haunted hot sauce, and I kind of did it prematurely. And what I started to do is sell custom labels. I did a few different custom labels, same products that I sell, but changing the labels so that they could sell them at their haunt. And it started to work out pretty well. So there's some possibilities there, but basically it grew to a level quickly where I couldn't really control it. So I need to make a decision. The decision is really, let's get some investors in this. It's showing some growth. It's not dying in spite of my best efforts to kill it. It's doing really well. So I got together with a few investors, and basically they were saying, well, you need to kind of tone down some of the Ghoul's Rule and the Flesh Feast kind of stuff and make it a little bit more mainstream. So I'm trying that. But yeah, it's certainly a possibility. If haunts are interested in having my products on their shelves, then I'm ready to go. If they're interested in custom labeling my products, in their haunt name, for instance, I'm willing to do that too. I mean, I'm a graphic designer by trade, so designing the labels and things is pretty simple. So it would just be kind of a matter of making some arrangements to, pick a sauce and decide, basically what you want to call it, and we'll get it out to you. But yep, that's definitely a possibility. I think it's a little late this year to do that, but I'm certainly open to a conversation about that next year because I think it's going to be a really big year for me.
Sounds good. What about your ingredient style? Is there certain ingredients you definitely go with? Are you buying at local farmers markets? Do you only buy organic? What do you put into your hot sauce in that aspect?
Well, initially I started with just fresh raw peppers. I'd go to the farmers market here in Atlanta. It's DeKalb, and you buy the fresh peppers and local farmers markets, wherever you can get bulk peppers. And, take them, you boil them down with vinegar and salt, and you make a base. And then from the base, you add, other spices to finish off the sauce. But I've gotten to a stage now where I don't have a manufacturing plant. So I've gotten to a stage now where I'm buying the base sauce, the habanero base, habanero peppers, vinegar, and salt, or the, jalapeno base or the cayenne base from food restaurant supply companies, and then I take those into the FDA-approved commercial kitchens and build from there. So it's all natural stuff. There's no preservatives. There's no colorings or anything. It's just peppers, vinegar, salt, and spices. And that's what I use. It doesn't need any preservatives because the level of acidity and salt is such that nothing's going to live in a Halloween hot sauce product.
Awesome. And the website, is it just there for orders and stuff, or do you have like some recipes or some Victor suggestions on what to use with it? Anything fun there?
Not yet. I just launched Halloween sauce. I closed Haunted Hot Sauce and said, all right, I got to take a year off. But people were clamoring. I mean, they said, no, you got to sell some sauce. And I was getting all these like side orders. So I said, all right, well, let me launch Halloween hot sauce. My intention is to add, of course, recipes. You need a good like bat wing recipe. You got to have one of those. Typically, Halloween party food is, how many different shapes can I make Jell-O? And any other time of year, you wouldn't want to serve that type of stuff. So I'm going to be definitely putting recipes on there. I do a smoked shrimp and crab brain that I put, of course, all my hot sauces on. Bat wings I'll do, and ribs, that sort of thing. So within the next couple of weeks, I'll be putting recipes on the site to make. And I have a whole bunch of kind of haunt ideas. But I think within the next couple of weeks, you'll definitely see some of the creepy recipes that I'll be doing. I'd like to get out and do some videos too. We'll see how that goes if time permits. But there'll definitely be some creepy recipes on HalloweenHotSauce.com on ways to use the sauce.
Flavor your favorite dead body.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's typically the Halloween party food is, how many different ways you can shape Jell-O or that sort of thing. But I kind of approach it the opposite way. It's like, what would you serve at any party? If it was a Super Bowl party, you'd want wings, you'd probably want some lasagna, you might want some, that's the best stuff for party, especially a party where you have to prepare a lot of decorations and such. You kind of want to be able to start early. So, I do a jambalaya recipe, ribs, meatballs, all that sort of stuff that you can kind of prepare early and just put out there and give them interesting names as we do. But
sure.
A good old black bat recipe, using the Bloody Bat hot sauce, and I actually put a little bit of dark food coloring in it to kind of darken it up a little bit. And not only that, but you get a bat prop and cut off its wings. Do 2 or 3 of those next to your display. That's where they came from. So that's definitely a little bit disturbing. But I was actually trying to build a bat wing guillotine at some point. But,
I like that idea. Plating your recipes for the haunt party, the Halloween party. Gotta do it right.
Exactly, and you can call your wings bat wings, but let's show people where they came from. Have a cutting board there with a cleaver stuck in and a couple of bats missing their wings, and kind of drives the point home. And you often end up with leftovers too by doing that.
Well, you know what? I have this image in my head now, and I was just thinking about this as you were talking about the bat wing, or right before it. I see this zombie. I see this video of this zombie, shambling along, and he's just dispatched his victim, and he's going to, eat an arm or something, and he stops and pops open a bottle of Halloween hot sauce and dumps it on, and then proceeds to eat.
Exactly. Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is the type of stuff I'd love to have more time to do. But initially I launched I kind of fixed the labels where I wanted them to be. I want these labels to look like something you would find you'd stumble across an old mortuary or like an old embalming room somewhere, and on a dusty shelf with jars full of embalming fluid, you'd find this bottle and pick it up and like, what in the hell is this? And it's covered in a tattered piece of some sort of dark, nasty cloth, and it has a toe tag on it, which all my hot sauces do. And the sauce itself looks kind of old and apothecary-like, and that sort of thing. And that's kind of what I always wanted to do, and I struggled for a long time to kind of get there. And I've finally done it. I mean, I'm really satisfied with the way Halloween hot sauce has turned out. It's kind of a condensed version of everything I've been wanting to do for 10 years, and I'm finally, I finally learned enough, I guess, to do it. So, if the passion in my voice excites you to buy it, that's because it's real. I'm really excited about it.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, as Badger likes to say, that the clock on the wall is ticking, so we're going to have to wrap this up. But what we're going to do right now is going to give you opportunity to what we like to call the plugs, and just get the word out about any contact information you want to give concerning your hot sauces, website, phone number. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, go ahead and plug away.
For a burning good time, call Vic at...
Yeah, 976. No, actually, you just go to HalloweenHotSauce.com. For those familiar with my my old products, you can still go to HauntedHotSauce.com, but go to HalloweenHotSauce.com and check out the products I have to offer. I have a mild, medium, and hot variety. Not only is it a kind of a Halloween prop novelty that you can proudly display on your Halloween party table, but it's also an excellent, high-quality, robust, flavorful hot sauce, backed by years and years of hardcore experience in both haunting and in food preparation. So I'm sure you'll be satisfied. And you can contact me anytime at The Undertaker at HalloweenHotSauce.com. And that's about it. It just isn't Halloween without Halloween hot sauce.
Excellent. And Vic, real quick, what's the turnaround time on orders?
Well, I took pre-orders Labor Day that are going to be shipped in the middle of September. It is the middle of September. Orders will be going out tomorrow, and I built a huge stock. I have 500 bottles in stock as we speak. So turnaround time right now is next day. I'll ship out next day. So, if you get it on the site. And then, of course, I'll be building the coffins upcoming, so look for those on HalloweenHotSauce.com, offering coffins. But turnaround time, I'm not taking any more pre-orders. I'm just filling stock. I'm shipping stock, so it's ready to go.
So we'll have to see about maybe getting a private label Big Scary Show hot sauce sometime in the future.
You could definitely do that. You'd probably pick the Grinning Skull recipe, I imagine.
Well, not all my partners would want to go that hot with the hot sauce, I'm sure. But
the most popular one.
Yes, Jerry has a delicate palate.
Well, I mean, and typically, they ask about ghost peppers. What's a Halloween or haunted hot sauce, site without a ghost pepper? And that's the reason, is that it sounds cool, but people really don't eat it. I mean, they don't buy it. It's interesting, and the hottest pepper in the world, ghost peppers. But I would be just sitting on it. It's just, A, they're hard to find and get in quality, and B, it's just not a product that people really buy. They like to talk about it, and they like to think that you have it, but it's just too hot. It's too it's excruciating. You don't want to ruin your food. You want to actually enjoy the flavor of your food, combined with a flavorful, spicy, experience.
Well, absolutely. You don't want to die eating a pepper. I mean, that would just really put the icing on the cake, wouldn't it?
And honestly, there's a lot of that out there. I mean, it's just chemistry. There's plenty of hot sauce companies out there. If you want to get something that's going to hurt you, you can buy capsaicin, which is the ingredient that makes hot sauce hot. I'm sorry. You can buy that pure and buy the eyedropper and just drop it on your tongue if you really want to experience that rush. But I'm just trying to make things that people enjoy. I'm not, and I don't want to make products that hurt people and that people don't want to ever touch again. That's not a good business plan.
Well, no, that's definitely not good business sense. Well, again, it is that time, Vic. Thanks very much for coming on and talking to myself and Storm. You still there, Storm?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Absolutely. Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And good luck with future orders, and we'll talk about that Big Scary Show hot sauce sometime in the near future.
That's excellent. I can't wait. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Vic.
Great. Thank you, Vic.
This is the Unknown Scare Actor along with Storm, and we are out.
13 Pagan Holiday 13. She's dead on the Big Scary Show.
Today She's dead, she's dead, but she'll come anyway. 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 Don't make a sound, don't say your name before you know it. You'll only bring pain. She has a kiss as sweet as the day when your mouth was razors and nails. As you paralyze and take the very soul from me. She ain't ready for that for the blasphemy. Your body's like somebody so nice, but it's the blood on your lips that scares me to death. Lay a thousand right at the gay out the door. So you stood in her way. So bring your body to throw you away as a monster. Said the world gonna say, she's dead, but you'll come anyway. 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 Oh, watch the dying blood so tell what a horrible sight. All the angels in red. You sacrifice your body so nice, but it's the blood on your lips that scares me to death. She's dead, but she'll come anyway. 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 Lay us down, right at the gate of the dust. So you stood in her way. So take your body and throw you away as a monster. That's the word gonna say. She's dead, but she'll come anyway. She's dead, but she'll come anyway. She's dead, but she'll come anyway. She's dead, but she'll come anyway.
Hi, this is the Haunt Rocker Jerry Vane, and I want to talk to you about Thorn Web Designs. Jimmy Talkington at Thorn Web Designs does my music site, jerryvane.com, and is the official website designer for BigScaryShow.com. Jimmy works for Haunt and has been in this business a long time, and he knows just what to do to make your site work for you. As a client of his for 2 years, I can tell you right now, Jimmy takes pride in what he does to make sure the website is what you want, when you want, and on time. And best of all, great prices and great customer service. So if you need a custom website for your haunted attraction, metal band, or anything else, I want you to visit thornwebdesigns.com and see what Jimmy Talkington can do for you. Thorn Web Designs, the official web designer of the Haunt Rocker Jerry Vane, Rabid Badger Haunt Consulting, and The Big Scary Show.
Greetings, haunters. Are you ready to face your fears?
Brought to you by Dark Spectre Custom Couture. Check out Nez's work at www.darkspectre.com.
Couture for the creatures of the night.
Okay, haunters, the Unknown Scare Actor here, and we have covered a lot of fears and phobias over the past few weeks. Everything from fear of clowns to actors' nerves. We've covered a lot. We're right in the middle of haunt season now, and I'm sure some of you have experienced some weather. This generally applies to our outdoor haunts, whether they be an open-air maze, in my case, or a corn maze, or a haunted trail. Any kind of haunted attraction that's outdoors, this applies to you. Let's talk about the weather. Well, as I record this segment, I am sitting here in the Big Scary Show studios with a chest cold. Because on last Friday, it was rainy, it was cold, and of course, as haunters, we're too stubborn to come in because we're afraid we're going to miss a good scare. So eventually we do pay the price. I am now paying the price for my frivolity, if you would like to call it that. I prefer to call it a passion to scare and a passion not to miss a scare. So, whatever the case may be, Mucinex is our friend. Any kind of Dayquil, any kind of cold medicine to get us through the season, right, haunters?
Always remember one thing, haunters. Everyone is afraid of something. Dolly Van Gogh, the demon, on the Big Scary Show.
Here we stand, head held high. I'm just a man, still I try to tame the land throughout the night. The only hour in the sky, yeah. In the sky. Here we are, but who's to say we got too far? It's all a game. On and on, without a name. Just my guitar, the world of flame. World of flame. World of flame. World of flame. Oh God, I'm out of my head. Into the keeper, into the dead. We're going down, you'll never know when the demon begins to show. Need for creatures to whine and die. Don't get too close, it's killing time. Don't trust too much, and cross divide. Evil thoughts are filling up my head, my head, my head, my head, my head, my head. Oh God, I'm out of my head. Into the keeper, into the dead. We're going down, you'll never know when the demon begins to show. Bells are ringing for your soul. We're going down, down, down,
Are you a fan of the alternative lifestyle? Do you like horror films and gaming reviews? How about Drop Dead Gorgeous Ladies? If you answered yes, then you need to check out Stiff Mag. Stiff Mag is a bi-monthly horror, alternative culture, and entertainment publication that features our horror film reviews, our tech from the crypt, and graveyard gaming features, killer reading, literary features, music reviews, columns, and of course our beautiful graveyard girls. For subscription information, visit stiffmag.com. That's stiffmag.com.
As we slide back into the swamp where we hid the body, we would like to thank the following people and others. Jimmy Talkington and Thornweb Designs, thornwebdesigns.com. Virgil Franklin, Master of the Ether Muse, at hauntaudio.com. Von Charon Productions, Von Charon, VONCHARON, Screamline Studios at screamlinestudios.com. We'd also like to thank the Four Ghosts. Storm, catch his ramblings at hauntminute.com. The Unknown Scare Actor, videos and more, unknownscareactor.com. The Haunt Rocker Jerry Vane, pick up his latest CD, The Attic, at jerryvane.com. And Drew Badger, actor, trainer, consultant, and more, rabbitbadger.biz. Be sure to tell us what you think. Send feedback to us at feedback@bigscaryshow.com. And keep sending in those news items, news@bigscaryshow.com. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/bigscaryshow or on Twitter at bigscaryshow. And you can find us on iTunes. Search Big Scary Show in the iTunes store. Tune in next time when we bring you the latest news and information from the world of haunting and horror. And thank you once again for listening. Without you, we are nothing. Good night, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and others. This is the Big Scary Show.
Sedation. You wanna feel at home, 'cause you belong. Welcome to my nightmare. Welcome to my breakdown. I hope I didn't scare you. That's just the way we are when we come down. We sweat and laugh and scream here, 'cause life is just a dream here. You know inside you feel right at home here. Welcome to my breakdown. You're welcome to my nightmare, yeah.
in someplace. Over here. Come on. Open the door. Oh, I no way I'm going in there. I don't care. Just open it. Let's go in. Come on, man. Okay. Whoa, look at this place, man. It's cool. I could like to leave. It's like a haunted house. Hey, go on. Uh-oh.
Welcome, boys. Come right in.
Please come in. You're welcome here. Mind the cobwebs and the bone. May we invite you to spend the night. Make yourself at home. Step this way, here's the living room. Though dead room is actually more correct. 'Cause there hasn't been a living soul here since Grandpa broke his neck. In our haunted house, we'll treat you like one of us. But in our haunted house, that could be hazardous. Browse around the kitchen, have a spoon, a fork, a knife. You must excuse those ketchup stains. We ate someone last night. Here is your big bedroom, dears. You'll love the creaky bed. You'll sleep just fine, but when you wake, you still may feel half dead. In our haunted house, the butler is a ghost. The upstairs maid's been buried for years, and the chauffeur's comatose. In our haunted house, our hospitality is something of which we're very proud. Oh, do you take poison in your tea? Don't let the spider webs mess up your head. Don't mind the piano playing with no one there. The crumbling bookshelves cover with dust. One or two headless bodies, what's all the fuss? The dreadful pounding, the screams and moans. It's just a typical night at home.
Things flow through the walls. You might see sights that chill the soul. Be sure to wear a shawl.
We'd love you to come in. Stay a while and
Play. Once you finally settle in, you'll never go away. We'll make sure of that.